I asked my wife to console my best friend after he lost his wife since she knew what it was like to lose someone close, but I didn't mean for her to be consoling him by being bent over on his nightstand, and yet it's what I saw when I caught her cheating on me. I, 27M, met my wife, 27F, we'll call her Sue, in college. We were both 18 at the time. We hit it off as soon as we went on our first date and were spewing I love yous within weeks of us dating. She kinda pursued me, but I was glad as hell that she did. We shared our deepest insecurities and secrets with each other. And when her dad passed away in her senior year of college, I was there for her through the whole ordeal. Her father had pancreatic cancer. And when he was hospitalized, I'd spend nights at the hospital with her so she wouldn't be alone. We got through it. And that point in time strengthened our bond. She told me she didn't know what she would have done if I hadn't been there for her. She called me her soulmate. I knew I was going to marry this girl, and sure enough, I popped the question about 2 years after we graduated. At that point in time, life couldn't get any better for me. I married the girl of my dreams, had a well-paying job immediately after graduating, and both our families loved us. My best friend, we'll call him Dave, 26M, and I had what I could only describe as an unbreakable brotherly bond, or so I thought. We had known each other since 3rd grade, and he was the brother I never had. He was also married, and moved away with his wife because she had landed a lucrative job at a big law firm. About a year ago, his wife died in a car crash, and this broke him. He moved back to our hometown after, but he was never the same. I tried to be there for him, but he wouldn't engage with anyone. No one understood the pain he was going through. So I asked my wife if she could talk to him, seeing as she had also lost a loved one and that maybe Dave could relate better with someone who went through something similar. Yes, I know now that this was a huge mistake. We'd pay him visits daily. She would spend hours on end at his place even without me there. They were going on hikes together, watching movies and not inviting me, grabbing lunch, all things couples do. Now obviously this was far more interaction than I had intended for them to have and it did make me uncomfortable, but Dave was doing much better from it. It's important to say that Dave and Sue never liked each other before all this happened. This is because Sue always thought he was a douche. Before he married his wife, Dave was bouncing from relationship to relationship, and even after he got with his deceased wife, he constantly cheated on her. As a result, Sue had a particular dislike for him and always questioned how I could be friends with someone with such low morals. This disdain for Chris is also what made me oblivious to what was to come. As I mentioned, Sue and Dave became inseparable, to the point where she would invite him to things I had planned for us as a couple. Moreover, she started portraying characteristics of what I now know to be classic cheater behavior, always on her phone, becoming increasingly distant, little to no intimacy, and coming home very late. At this point it was all too suspicious and one day she was texting and I asked who she was talking to. She said it was one of her girlfriends and when I asked to see what they were saying she became very irritated and called me possessive. When I talked to Dave about how uncomfortable their friendship was making me, he assured me nothing was up and even accused me of not trusting him and my own wife. I was getting gaslit. This continued until one day Sue went out again. She said she was going to her sister's for the weekend because she needed some space from me because I was driving her crazy with my accusations. I was still very suspicious and called her sister to confirm if she was indeed expecting Sue to visit. She confirmed that she was but that Sue had not yet arrived. Mind you, she had left around 3 p.m. and her sister's place is about 4 hours away from where we live. It was now 10 p.m. Something in the back of my head told me to go to my friend's house so I did. Sure enough, my wife's car is parked a couple of feet away from my friend's house. At this point it was clear as day as to what was going on, and I hate to admit it but I cried. Hard. After a few minutes I decided to go in and see if this is really what was happening. I went in through the back door which I knew would be open. I quietly made my way in and I could hear my wife moaning. I was shaking. When I made it to the door of his bedroom I could see through the creak. My wife, bent over on his nightstand. I'll never get that image out of my head. I'm literally crying as I'm writing this down. I pushed the door wide open and they both froze, staring at me. It took every ounce of my being not to beat the living hell out of Dave. I just walked away and got into my car. I could hear them scrambling and my wife started screaming at me to stop and that she can explain. I didn't want to look at her. I don't know what I would have done so I just drove away. I cried the entire drive home and they were both spamming me with calls. I went to one of my college friends and have been here the past week or so. I can't eat, I can't sleep, and I can think of anything else. I informed my work of what was going on and they were kind enough to give me time off. I've been getting phone calls from both Dave and Sue, as well as both our families. I let my family know I was alright and would be back soon, but I haven't responded to anyone else ever since. This hurts. So bad. I want to die. I want to be gone from this world but I'm too much of a coward to do it myself. I'm trying to be strong but my resolve is wavering. How can someone you loved so selflessly do this? I don't know what to do. How do I deal with this? Please help me. Commenter. Reach out to anyone you can to talk you down to earth. Lawyer up and get a divorce. Now. Radio silence. That will drive home the message more than anything you can say to her. Do not confront her or your friend. You will freak out and do something stupid. It will only give them a chance to rationalize what happened. Update 1. First off, I wanted to thank you all for your support and words of advice. You all made this time in my life somewhat bearable. Some of you shared your own stories and made me realize that this is something I can come back from. I had many thoughts about self-deletion, but I think I'm past that now. Thank you so much for caring. Many of you were asking me for an update, so here it is. Sue's message: I know you need your space right now and I'm the last person you want to talk to, but I can't help myself. I feel like I'm going insane. I never meant for any of this to happen. You are the last person I ever wanted to hurt. And knowing the amount of pain and suffering I've caused you is a new kind of hell for me. It hurts, but I know you're hurting more. My relationship with Dave started out innocent. I never had any intentions of it going anywhere near as far as it did. It just happened. I'm not going to lie to you and say this was the first time this happened. We've smashed several times, as I'm sure you already know. You always knew. You're a very smart man and that's one of the many things I adore about you. However, my relationship with Dave only turned physical about a week before you found out. The rest of the time it was only emotional. We connected on a much deeper level than I had intended and things just escalated from there. I know you brought us closer with all the right intentions. You are the most caring person I have ever known and I don't even know where to begin describing how sorry I am for what I did to you. I will never forget the hurt I saw in your eyes when you found out, and I'm going to live with that guilt the rest of my life. I have feelings for Dave that I won't deny. But those feelings are nowhere near as strong as the feelings I have for you. I love you so much, my soulmate. My everything. I know my actions would say otherwise, but it's the truth. Don't ever question my love for you. It's real. That part of our relationship has always been real. I don't know why I did it. I think it was the excitement of something new and the taboo of the whole situation, as cold as it sounds. I'm not trying to hurt you when I say it. I'm just trying to be honest. I genuinely don't know why I would do something like this to you of all people. I'm a vile, selfish person. That I can't deny. I did something unforgivable and I can only ask for forgiveness. That's how selfish I am. I'm a hypocrite and I know it. You have every right to hate me and no one can blame you for it. But I wanted to let you know that what I did had nothing to do with you. It wasn't your fault at all. Dave and I took advantage of your kindness, and for that I am sorry. I really am. He is too. There are so many things I want to say to you but they have to be said in person. Take as much time as you want, but please, I'm begging you give me the chance to make this right. Please come home. I love you. I don't know what to make of that. There are many more of those kinds of emails but I wanted to share that one because it left me confused. I definitely don't know the person I married. What do you guys make of it? As many of you guys suggested, as well as family and friends, I contacted a lawyer and met up with her yesterday. I gave her all the details and she seems to be very motivated to help me come out of this as financially whole as possible, given the circumstances. I still love my wife dearly, but I don't know if this is something I can get over. I received lots of messages from Dave too, but I don't want to read them. I often switch from sorrow to rage and don't know how to feel right now. Should I try to see if reconciliation is possible or should I just end this marriage now and save myself more heartbreak? My family knows everything. Apparently Sue confessed what she had done to everyone. I've been away from everyone for more than 2 weeks now and I still don't know what to do. The pain still feels fresh. Every time I close my eyes I can see nothing else but Sue and Dave together, and the pain doesn't seem to be lessening. I know most of you are saying to just divorce, and I would say the same thing too, but things aren't that black and white when you are the one in this situation. Given all this new info, I'd appreciate any advice, particularly from people who've been here. Betrayed spouses and waywards, how did you manage to move past this? Is it even possible? Right now I'm almost certainly going to move on with the divorce but I just need reassurance I'm making the right decision. Edit, I've read all your comments and felt I needed to add this. I was told by her as well as family and friends that she has been living with her sister the past few weeks. In one of her emails she explained that she has only spoken to Dave once since I found out and went full NC with him. Her mother called me and apologized for her daughter's behavior via text. I didn't pick up her calls. She said Sue is in individual counseling at the moment. In another one of her emails she said she was never going to leave me for David. She has feelings for him, but she doesn't love him. Huh? Dave is supposedly leaving soon, but is apparently holding it off until he speaks to me face to face. There's a lot of other stuff I haven't addressed and I'm probably leaving out some details, but some of my family and friends are saying I should just talk to her and move on from there. That's where I'm at now. Commenter. Am I the only one having trouble feeling bad for Op? It was that's just Dave when he watched his buddy cheat all the time. Now you're hurt that he tapped your wife? You were an idiot to tell your wife to spend time with a player, you were a coward to stand by while your friend betrayed his partners, and now you're being both stupid and cowardly considering reconciliation. Op. I don't know what type of relationships or friendships you've had, but I don't think me trusting my wife is stupid. Of course I tried talking to Dave about his cheating. We had been in countless fights over it. Some even physical. It's because of this that I thought I would be the last person he wanted to talk to concerning his wife passing away. By the way, she was drunk the night she died after she had caught him cheating yet again. Update 2. So I took some time off of Reddit and other social media to reflect on my marriage and the steps I was going to take moving forward. I was getting lots of advice from the kind people on here as well as family and friends. However, I wasn't sure what I really wanted. A lot has happened since then, so this might be a novel. Bear with me. When I looked back on the marriage, most of it was filled with little else but happy memories, which is why I was trying so hard to find a reason to stay. However, when I started thinking about her cheating, how she and Dave gaslit me and made me question my sanity, the only thing I felt was rage. The deeper I looked, the angrier I got. I will never forget how angry Sue would get when I questioned her on where she'd been when she came home late, or the disgusted look Dave gave me when I asked him, man to man, if there was anything going on between him and my wife. The cheating was bad enough, and even worse was that it was with my best friend. But the gaslighting. The gaslighting. I will never get over it. Fair enough, I was played like the fool I was, but it takes a special kind of person to lie so effortlessly and so well. I don't know how they were able to flip the switch like that. I remember one night when she came home late, about 2 days before I found out, she was telling me how much she loved me and how horny she was when she was driving home thinking about me. Now I'm almost certain she had come home from Dave's because she wasn't wearing any panties. She had smashed with both of us back to back. I kissed her. This whole situation made me feel like a wimp. How could I have let them walk all over me like that? I feel so emasculated. The more I reflected, the more I got the urge to head over to Dave's. But I couldn't. There is no justice for me, not with our justice system. They get to torment me, assault me mentally, but if I retaliate, I'm the one who gets put in jail for who knows how long. I spoke with my lawyer about this and she urged me not to do anything stupid. Not only would I go to jail, but I would jeopardize my chances in the divorce proceedings. She suggested I see a therapist, but I don't want to. I don't see the need. I was still getting spammed with emails from Sue, and they were just making me angrier. She was still spewing the same nonsense as before, and how miserable her life would be without me. She even had the nerve to send me Bible verses on forgiveness. If I mattered that much, why do it? I started going to work again because I wanted to be busy. Being distracted has really helped me cope better, and I don't drink as much as I was at the beginning. One day while at work I received a letter from Sue. I wanted to just throw it away but decided to read it. In it, she talked about her individual counseling and how it helped her discover some underlying issues she was having with herself. The biggest of all being her low self-esteem. She explained that the discrepancy in our attractiveness made her very self-aware and that deep down she wanted to feel desired by someone other than me. According to her, her sister has always been much prettier than her and this contributed to her low self-esteem. She said that even though she knew I was attracted to her and that I made her feel beautiful, she sought that validation from someone else. She apologized again and said it wasn't an excuse, but that she was simply looking for a way to make sure it never happens again if should I decide to give her another chance. She then proceeded to ask if we could try marriage counseling to work things out. I still didn't respond to anything she or her family sent me at this point. So I just ignored it. Anyway, I started the divorce proceedings and the first order of business was splitting our finances, and unfortunately, I couldn't untangle myself from her without her consent. We each have separate accounts, as well as a joint savings account, and unfortunately, I can't take what I'm entitled to from it without her. Even though I make significantly more than she does, and have contributed the most to the money in that account, I'll probably have to split it with her 50-50. So I just proceeded with filing the divorce papers. She was served a few weeks ago, and then the show started. The very day she was served, she showed up at my apartment with the divorce petition in her hands. I don't know how she found out where I was. We just stared at each other for what felt like forever, and all the pain from that night came back. All the emotions I felt returned with renewed vigor. I almost teared up again, but I didn't. She looked like she had been crying and she rushed towards me and tried to give me a hug. I gently pushed her away, and this somehow made her hysterical. She started shouting, asking why I was giving up on us so easily, and if we could just talk it out. At this point, I figured I just wanted to get away from her. Looking at her gave me a wave of different emotions, so I wanted to get away before I did or said anything I would regret. I tried going back to my car and she threw herself on the top of the hood. I asked her what she wanted, and she said she just wanted to talk things through, that we couldn't end our marriage in such a manner without at least clearing the air.